like to begin almost all of my classes on the back, hands on the belly. It's a great way to get some feedback about your own body, about the physiology, your physiology in this moment. Really invite a sense of sinking down, of feeling this profound support of the ground beneath you, Mother Earth. There's no rush, there's no push, there's no efforting. There's just a steady, solid, supported presence. Cradling our bones, softening our breath. Let's take another full breath in. And let out a big sigh. And slowly draw your knees to your chest. Give yourself a great big hug again for showing up, for being willing to stay present and being excited about this practice. Bring your hands just a little to the inside of the knees and then separate your knees wide from one another so that your knees, it's similar to happy baby shape, but your knees are towards your elbows or your armpits and your feet are just hanging floppy, lower half of your legs hanging floppy down. Start to steer the boat, rock a little side to side, letting the knees go a bit wider apart maybe. And then you're going to just straighten one elbow a little bit or a lot. So that knee is going to push outward. And then holding onto that knee, pull it right back in and straighten the other elbow so that other knee goes outward. And pull it in and start to go back and forth at a nice, slow, steady pace. If you know linking cat and cow with breath, you can think about like linking this movement. Inhale and exhale. And inhale, straighten the arm. And exhale. Roll your knees back into center. Give yourself a big hug, rock a little side to side, and let your knees drop. Just simply over to the right, nothing fancy. Oh, keep your shoulders on the ground and start to turn your chin over to the left. We're going to be here for about 5 breaths. So chin to the left, knees to the right. If it's really easeful for you and you still feel supported, soft, grounded, you can straighten your top leg. So it's pretty easy for me to reach with my right hand and catch that top foot, maybe the toe, maybe the outside of the foot, but I'm not straining in any way. I'm just sort of catching. Another breath. And then release your foot if you had hold of it. Draw the knees back to center and sweep the knees to the other side. So knees over to the left now. Gaze it to the right. Notice and allow yourself to settle, allow yourself to feel rooted. Option to straighten the top leg. And if it's within easeful reach, you can catch hold of that right foot with your left hand. Good, and then inhale back to center. Draw your knees to center. Reach between the knees and catch hold of your feet. So the soles of your feet are going to be together. We're going to drop the knees a little side to side, and then bring the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. If you're pulled against the ankles or the lower half of the shin, this should be pretty easy to turn the soles of the feet up towards the sky. It's like you're in a deep, deep squat. Like you're about to pick something up off the ground, but you're on your back. Good. And then reach your right leg straight out to the sides. Your legs form a big check mark. I'll turn this way. Spreading your toes, activating your feet. And then draw this leg right back in, right knee right back in. Left leg out to the side. Spread the toes, activate the feet. And draw it back in. One more time each side, so a couple of breaths. Make the check mark on the right. And then come in and make the check mark on the left. Couple of breaths. So all of this hip opening is going to help us later in the practice. Draw your legs right back to center. And then roll onto your right side. Press up into your top hand. And really let your head be the last thing to come up. So if you just came up really naturally, you might have your legs in this position. And if you don't already have your legs in this position, get them in a position that looks like this. So if you start kind of in what I would call the side sit or the mermaid sit, all you're doing is you're taking your top leg and bringing it back a little bit. So it doesn't matter which leg is on top. So I have my left leg on top, or if you're looking at me and you're mirroring me, you'll have your right leg on top. You're just going to bring that same side hand to the hip and press forward and back. And press forward and back. As we go into moon salutations today, you'll see the need for quite a bit of hip mobility. And the hip is a joint that really benefits from a deep warm-up before you go into it. Swing it over to the other side. So take this back leg and see if you can do it hands free. Set yourself apart, top hand to the top hip, and forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. Good. And hands free, cross at your shins, roll over onto hands and knees. This is a great place to grab the blanket. So if anybody has trouble putting weight right on the shin, right on the kneecap, you can also put your blanket under the shins, plural, and have your knees kind of off the front edge. Come up onto your fingertips for a moment. So as you start to bear weight through your hands, you're really, really grounded. You're really, really using the end of your fingers. So fingertips, I call this spider hands. Really, really use that. And then push the base of the fingers down. So the palm's still up, floating. And then lower the heel of the hand down softly. And just shift a little side to side. So you're going to get a little bit more motion. Motion is motion into the hips. And finding center, start to move with your breath. Cat and cow. Inhale, heart forward. Spine goes into extension. Exhale, scoop the belly, round yourself up towards the sky. Inhale, heart forward, belly down, squeeze shoulders back. Exhale, and really draw it in. Push away. A few more times at your own pace. And then finding neutral, curl your toes under, Set your knees a little bit wide apart from one another. Bring your toes to touch, and then come back into this really unusual child's pose. So this is a wide-kneed child's pose with the toes curled under, so you get the soles of the feet activated. You can make a pillow for your forehead with your hands. Get some deep breath into the back of your body. Looking up with your inhale. Take it forward right back to table pose. But this time we're going to turn the fingers out to the sides. And if it's still comfortable to keep going, you can turn your fingers back towards your knees. This second part is, of course, optional. And this time we're going to inhale into the back bend. And exhale. Belly down. Switch things up a little. Inhale into the back bend. And exhale. Walk your hands out in front of you, fingers pointing forward again. Start off from spider fingers. Take the base of the fingers down, and then base of the heel of the hand down. Rise up, downward facing dog. So while you're up, this is a great time to move your blanket out of the way. You can just have it nearby in case you need it again. And start to walk your feet slowly up towards your hands. If you can keep your legs straight in this process, great. Try to go slowly and breathe through rather than push through. And at the front of the mat, I encourage you to bend your knees quite a bit. Bend your knees so that your belly can rest on your thighs. Let the head shake a little left and right. Shake it out left and right. And then on your inhale, bring your shins, the fingers rather, to your shins, halfway up. And on your exhale, fold. So we're going to pulse back and forth, inhaling halfway up. Exhale, fold. You can even close your eyes a few times as you do that. Just keep that on repeat. Halfway and fold. Your breath initiates the movement. Really bringing your fingertips to your shins, squeezing the shoulders back, and then exhaling and just letting it totally fall and collapse. Bring your hands to the tops of your knees, scoop through the belly and rise up. Let the spine roll up vertebra by vertebra. Head's the last thing. Arms out and up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, come halfway up. So the same thing we did earlier. Squeezing the shoulders back. Fingers have to rest on some part of the leg. And then exhale, just take your fingertips to the floor, right foot to the back. This is a great place if you wish to set your blocks under your hands. So you're going to drop down through the pelvis, pull the chest forward, set the blocks under your hands. And blocks are going to be on the yoga mat, by the way, framing the front side. So, drop through the pelvis, and raise. And drop through the pelvis, and raise. And drop through the pelvis, hands are on the blocks or on the floor, and raise the pelvis back up. And then we're going to step the back foot all the way to the front. Inhale, halfway up at the front of the mat. Exhale, fold it down, and please take your left foot all the way to the back. So here's what it looks like with the fingers on the floor. Drop through the pelvis, and then raise the pelvis. Drop through, and raise. Your back leg can stay straight, but the front knee is going to bend, and straighten, and bend, and straighten with your breath. Step your back foot to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. And wide open arms. Rise, rise, rise. Palms together overhead and over your heart. So let's sweep the arms out and catch hold of your right wrist. Just lean over to your left. Inhale up. Catch hold of your left wrist and lean over to your right. Inhale up. Let's do that one more time each side. Right wrist, lean to the left. And up. Left wrist gets pulled, lean to the right. And up. Good. Exhale, hands down to the floor or to your blocks. Inhale, halfway up. Left foot steps it back. We're going to start with this basic lunge. And then sink the back heel down. Rise up to warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Turn all the toes forward to the long edge of your yoga mat. And then fold forward here. So you can move your blocks around if you'd like to have your blocks under your hands, just like this. And then bend your left knee and bend your right knee a couple of times. Swaying side to side. Turn your toes out now and your heels in, bringing your hands up to your knees. Draw through the pelvis. Float the chest. Come as upright as you can, knees out over the middle toes, and then open your arms to goddess arms or cactus arms. Devyasanas or goddess pose. You can shift a little side to side. Good, and if you want, you can reach the fingers up towards the sky, interlacing your fingers, index fingers reaching up, pelvis dropping down. Good, straighten your legs, hands to your hips. Widen the space between your feet. Turn your back toes at the back of your mat away. Other toes at the front of your mat towards the back of your mat. And then warrior two. Bending through the back knee. Sink your hands down to the back of your mat, framing your back foot now. Dropping down into your deep lunge. And step your back foot all the way, step the foot, your foot that is at the front of your mat, all the way to the back of your mat. So now you're facing the back of your mat. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, fold it down. Inhale, get strong through the legs, wide open with the arms. Rise all the way up. Catch hold of your left wrist and lean to the right. Inhale to center, catch hold of your right wrist and lean to the left. Inhale through center, exhale, fold it down. Step back with your right foot. And then walk your hands all the way to the long edge of your mat again. So all 10 toes are pointed towards the long edge of your mat. Bend your right knee a little bit and then your left knee a little bit. Your right knee and your left knee. And then walk your hands all the way back towards the front of your mat. Basic lunge. Step the back foot to the front. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach to rise all the way strong and standing. Palms together over the heart. Sweep the arms up. Catch hold of the right wrist. Lean over to the left. Inhale up. Catch hold of the left wrist. Lean over to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, palms down. So it was your first taste of the sun salute, which is a little more circular, a little bit softer. Sorry, the moon salute. It's a little softer and more circular than the sun salute. Just as a contrast, what we do when we do the sun salute is we're often doing a lot of motion front to back, just pure stuff like this, front to back, in line with the yoga mat. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what we're seeking when we add a little bit of variety, when we add this more feminine, fluid quality to it, is we're seeking a little bit more like coloring outside of the line, so to speak. And that's why we went to the side and we went to the back of the mat and we did all this side bending and these more lateral opening actions. So we're gonna keep up that theme and just get creative with it, okay? Inhale, top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. We most often lead with the right leg in the yoga practice, in the hatha yoga practice. So as you inhale halfway up, we're going to lead with the left leg again, and that is the logic behind it, to create some balance in our lives. Exhale, step your left foot to the back. Start off in this basic lunge, right? And then step your your front foot kind of towards the midline of your mat. And instead of keeping the legs wide this time, keep the legs just a little bit wider than hip distance. Have your block there if you need it. Fingertips down to the floor. Come into Malasana, a goddess squat. So you're welcome to sit on your block. And you're also welcome to sit without the block if you don't need it. Press your palms together over your heart. Let your elbows go wide. Chest get tall. Toes are moving in the same direction as your thighs. Sometimes it's tempting to turn the toes like way out just to get the heels on the floor. But it's better for your knees to keep the toes in line with the knees. Beautiful. So hands down. We're going to do the same thing at the back of the mat. So if you can't see, don't worry about it too much. We're just going to step the left foot towards the back of the mat and the right foot towards the front of the mat and just drop into the lunge. Step your right foot now all the way to the back of the mat. Hopefully I didn't get left and right too mixed up. Heart reaches. And exhale, fold it down. Inhale, arms wide, rise up. Touch hold of your left wrist, lean to the right. Inhale through center. Touch hold of the right wrist, lean to the left. Inhale through center. And this time just take your right foot and step again all the way to the five-pointed star facing the long edge of your mat. Turn your left toes out and your right toes in. And we're going to glide the right hand down the right leg. Arm reaches towards the sky. And then reach, moving into your triangle pose. Look down towards the floor for a moment and take the top arm. We're going to make an even triangle pose, which is very angular. We're going to make it circular. Sweep the arm by your hip, reach forward, and reach the arm by your ear. And up. Sweep your top arm by your hip, reach forward, and reach the arm by the ear, and then up. Bend through your front knee, or your left knee rather, and park your left elbow on that knee. And start to move through side angles, same circular arm action. You can bend and straighten your knee here. And then sweep the arm down towards the floor. Walk towards the long edge of your yoga mat, so all fingers, all toes are pointing this edge. Inhale halfway up, come onto spider fingers. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale halfway up, come onto spider fingers. Exhale, fold it down. And then third time's the charm. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold, and walk to the other side. So we're going to start off in five-pointed star. Turn your toes to the right, all of your toes. Glide your left hand down the back leg. And then keep the length and reach towards your right foot. Right arm reaches. Lower the hand lightly to the shin. And top arm, which is your left arm, perhaps around. Draw these big circles. Connect to breath. Stay here for a few more circles of the arm. And then a little more space between the legs. Right elbow to the right knee. Sweep the arm by your ear. Beautiful, hands to the floor. Step the back foot to the front, so you're facing to the front of the mat again. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, bend your knees and shake it out. Then inhale, reach your eyes all the way up. Palms overhead and over the heart. We're going to do a slightly more sophisticated side bend. So stand on your right leg and step your left foot back. Look like you're going to do a curtsy, but instead of doing a curtsy, it's just going to be a little bit cross the midline over to the other side of the mat. Front knee will bend, but the back leg will stay straight. So, catch hold of your left wrist. Sweep the arms up. Pull your ribs in so that you can really feel this, and then start to lean over towards your right. In our case, over towards the window wall. Yeah. You can look down if that feels good on your neck. You can look forward, or you can look up to the inside of your top arm. Rise up. Bring your hands to your hips. Step your back foot in close, but don't lose the cross of the legs. Try to cross high up close on the thigh. Chest lifts. Exhale, fold it down. You can park your hands on your knee, or you could maybe even make it all the way to the floor. Shake your head out, left and right. Blocks are also handy here. Bring your hands back to your hips. Slowly rise up. Head is the last thing to come up. And let's switch sides. If you know you want your blocks for the next side, set them up now. You're going to set your left foot in front of you. Tuck the right leg back like you're doing a little curtsy. And then just bend your front knee. Straighten your back leg. Catch hold of your right wrist. Sweep it up and lean over to your left. So it doesn't matter to me if you look down. There's a sweetness to looking down. There's a sweetness to looking forward. And there's like a lightness to looking up. Whichever one feels good for you. This pose is known as Krishna's crescent. Hips can stick out. Good. And then inhale through center. Bring your hands to your hips and step your back foot in. So you're still keeping the cross of the legs, but now they're much tighter together, like you have a secret. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold it down. Hands can be on your legs, on your thighs, on your shins, on your block, or even on the floor. Let there be a softness here. Head is heavy. Shake it out a little left and right. And then hands to the hips. Slowly rise up and uncross your legs. So this time, let's just stay oriented towards this wall, right? Without turning towards the side of the yoga mat necessarily. We're going to do a little bit of a moon salute just here at the front of the mat. Arms reach out, catch hold of the right wrist, lean to the left. And I bet you can feel a little bit like you're going deeper than you were before. Inhale up, catch the other wrist, and lean. And then inhale up, arms wide, feet wide. It's okay if you are off your mat here. Go nice and wide. This is known as 5-pointed star. And we're going to turn all of our toes to the right. Lean your left hand down your back leg. And reach the right arm long. Reach, 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 reach. Settle the hand to the shin. Top arm goes forward. And then slide it back like you're sliding the whole arm on a cookie tray and bring the arm by your ear. Top hand to your hip and bend down for side angle. Just bend into the front. Pull your belly in here. Raise the top arm to the sky and then bite in here. Root your hands down to the floor. Cross through the midline and take it to the other side. All toes turn to the other side. Let's start with triangle pose again. So hands to the hips, rise up. And then you're going to glide your right hand down your back leg as your left arm goes to the sky. Exhale, keep that length. Hand to shin. Right arm forward. Slide it back like you're sliding the whole arm on a cookie tray. And then as it goes up, there's a little bit more rotational freedom in your spine. Right, sweep the arm by your ear. And then hand down to the hip. Bend into this front knee and just park the elbow here. Drawing in from the belly, starting to turn, sweep, and find your full expression of side angle. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Walk to center, turn toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels. And then use your block if needed to sit down. We're going to drop down, hips to the inside of the heels. Palms together over the heart. Yeah, and you can also use two blocks here. It doesn't imply that you have to just use one at a time. You can get yourself as regal as you want to be, as tall as you want to be. So from here, open your right arm. Try to touch the ground, get that sense of grounded support. And bring your left hand to the center of your chest. So this is our heart. Really feel from the heart. Right arm is on the inside of the knee. And then open your left arm to the sky. Notice how when we're really grounded in our lives, that we can be so much more present to others, and we can be so much more operative on a higher level of consciousness. Bring the palms back together over your heart and open to the other side. Feel grounded, feel the support of literally the planet, Mother Earth beneath you. And then from that stable, centered base of support, just like a thriving child, as adults, we have the left hand down on the floor now, right arm over the heart, and we can really use that grounded support to spin and thrive and flourish. Exhale, hands to the floor, rise your hips, turn your toes in just a little bit, and shake a little left and right. Widen the space between your feet a little bit more. Turn your toes over towards the right again, and this time have one of your blocks all the way towards the side, yeah? So a little beyond where your pinky toes are. You're gonna go from a side angle shape with your legs to lifting your back foot up just for a brief moment for half moon. So activate that back foot, fly the arm, curl the toes towards the eyes. Good, and then see how slowly and groundedly you can take yourself right back to 5-pointed star. Turn all your toes to the other side, and we're going to set the block up to the outside of the pinky toes on the left. And then bend in, make the side angle shape with your legs. Block is just a few inches beyond your toes, and rise up with your back leg. Right arm to the sky. So activate through the foot, float it up. Beautiful. Exhale, see how slowly you can lower down. Set your blocks to the side, rise to 5-pointed star. Palms together, overhead. And then ground down. Shift a little left and right, just sinking into your breath. And then interlace your fingers behind your low back. You're gonna draw your knuckles first towards the sky, and then bend your knees as much as you wish here to let the knuckles of the hands kind of fall forward overhead. So straighten your elbows, knuckles towards the sky. And then bring your hands back to your low back. And sweep the hands down to the ground. Lower yourself right back down to hands and knees. As you Take a moment in child's pose. If you need your blanket here, you can put your blanket under your shins or between your calves and your thighs. You can have your knees wide or your knees together. I recommend making a little pillow with your hands and letting the center of your hands press into your forehead, pressing into your third eye point. Inviting greater wisdom from our physiology, a greater sense of wisdom from our intuition, from our inner knowing. We have senses beyond the five senses, our breath, our blood pressure. We're all responding all the time to our mental states and our environmental states. We can get guidance from them, from slowing down, coloring outside the lines, and thinking more broadly, more femininely, more fluidly. So soft through the arms, stack through the vertebra, one at a time. Inviting the head to come up. Move your hips to one side. And bring your hips to the middle of your yoga mat. Roll up your blanket. We're going to lie straight on our backs. So give this blanket, this little rolled up blanket, have it give some support to your curves, to your body. Sometimes when it's under the knees area, it actually pushes a little bit into that sensitive zone. So maybe go under the thighs, which is not only a little bit less sensitive of an area, but it's also more likely to accommodate your femininity. Palms facing to the sky, head heavy. Rock a little side to side and just settle down. Again, feel the tremendous support, the unending, unlimited, infinite support of the ground beneath you. Notice the spaciousness between the eyebrows, between the top teeth and the bottom teeth. Slowly start to deepen your breath. You can let out any sighs. Circling your wrists or circling your ankles. And stretching long, letting yourself wake up in a way that feels organic to you. Eventually hugging your knees into your chest, rocking a little side to side. Slowly rolling onto one side, letting your head be heavy and your eyelids stay closed. Press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Use your blanket if you'd like. Just bring your palms together over your heart, and then take the thumbs and press them right into your space between your eyebrows. May we be kind in the thoughts we think. Thumbs to your lips. May there be kindness in the words we speak to ourselves and to others. And thumbs to the center of the heart. May there be kindness in all of our actions, always. Namaste.